Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura Ingraham, and this is the Ingraham Angle. Prince Harry, Johnny Depp, well, they take a starring role, and it can't miss Seen and Unseen with Raymond Arroyo at head. But first, Joe tries to feel our pain. A White House fresh out of ideas is casting about for ways to save both Biden and the Democrats in Congress. Now, no matter how much they've tinkered with their messaging, we've talked about this, Americans just aren't buying what they're selling. Now, the press is even issuing dire assessments. Biden is at or near his low ebb in terms of job approval during his term. In CNN's latest poll of polls, his approval rating is at just 39%. Now, Biden didn't have a lot of goodwill left with the public before this week, but the conflicting messages coming out of the White House and the broader Democratic Party make it look like there is no plan to turn things around in advance of the midterm elections, which are now just over 200 days off. That was Chris Cillizza. And given that the Democrats refuse, by the way, to change their policies on energy and the border that have made them so unpopular, what can Joe do? Well, he can pretend he feels your pain, because he was poor too once.
I grew up in a household where we lived in a split-level home, 3 bedrooms, 4 kids, mom and dad, and a grandpapa lived with us. I was listed, had the great pleasure of being listed as the poorest man in Congress for 36 years. I still had making a hell of a lot more money than anybody else because I was getting a senator's salary. No kidding. I didn't think you should make money while you're in office.
Then to drive home the poverty point, he followed it up with an early morning tweet today saying, "I know that families are still struggling with higher prices. I grew up in a family where if the price of gas went up, we felt it." Now, let me understand this. The White House believes that the families seeing their savings eroded by inflation, they're seeing their neighborhoods engulfed by violent crime, they're going to feel better now because Joe claims empathy that's carried over from experiences several decades ago? All right, Joe's lived high on the hog for years now. We all know that. Remember just last week when we learned that according to texts on Hunter's old laptop, that Joe's ne'er-do-well son was covering expenses for the family. One January 2019 text to his sister Naomi saying, "I hope you all can do what I did and pay for everything for this entire family for 30 years. 30 years. It's really hard, but don't worry. Unlike Pop, I won't make you give me half your salary." 30 years, 3 decades. Now, that would cover a significant stretch of Biden's Senate career, when he was the poorest member. Now, this is where we should remind you that throughout the campaign, Joe groused at the mere mention of any impropriety as it related to Hunter.
Mr. Vice President, how many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period.
What's your understanding of what your son was doing for an extraordinary amount of money?
I don't know what he was doing.
Now, look, anyone who's had some success and now who has grown kids, we know they worry more about their children than about themselves. So helping Hunter is by far the best way to influence Joe because Joe worries more about Hunter than he does about himself. That's what you do when you're a parent. The fact that so many people in Washington refuse to admit this obvious fact shows that our establishment believes it's okay for politicians to use their offices to enrich their families. But of course, that only extends to Democrats. Meanwhile, as Joe convened a big confab with his foreign policy team tonight, he wants you to think that he's a man for all seasons, that he'll lead the world out of the current morass it's in. But unless that begins with redoubling our efforts to take on China, well, the rest is all bluster. And remember why their inability to confront China is significant as it relates to the Biden schemes. Documents unveiled 2 weeks ago by Senators Ron Johnson and Chuck Grassley showed that Hunter and Joe's brother Jim received monthly payments of $100,000 and $65,000 respectively as part of an August 2017 consulting agreement between Hunter and Guang Guangdong, a top official at the CCP-linked energy company. Well, the documents also indicate that Jim Biden's company received payments directly from a company jointly owned at the time by Hunter Biden's law firm. Now, the takeaways here are undeniable. Biden's focus, if he's capable of any focus at all, is enriching his family as much as possible before he leaves this earth. This will require capitulation to China and to the American left. And so far, he's doing both. Profiting off Joe's stint in the Senate, his 8 years as vice president, and even now, when he's president, it's just what the Bidens do. And now, as the Bidens enjoy the rewards of their dirty family influence business, Americans themselves, they're suffering under Joe's bumbling, careless watch. And I'm telling you this tonight, no attempt at play acting the role of an empathetic character is going to make it feel any more pleasant or Joe any more popular.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.